Hey guys, Orlando here. Today I'm going to be reviewing Iron Man. Canonically, this is the next film after Captain Marvel, since Captain Marvel took place in the 90s and this film takes place in the late 2000s, early 2010s. So yeah, that's where this goes. But realistically, this was the first MCU movie ever. This was the movie that laid down the foundation for literally every single MCU film to come. And they did such an amazing job at it. Iron Man tells the story of Tony Stark, a genius billionaire playboy philanthropist, and he's, demonstrating weapons in Afghanistan. And one day, he gets fucking captured by these terrorists, and then he's forced to fight his way out, and he makes an Iron Man suit. He comes to the realization that, oh, these weapons are killing innocent people. I gotta stop that. Any means necessary, so he becomes Iron Man in order to stop that. God, Robert Downey Jr. is amazing in this role. Like, he really embodies this role. It kind of freaks me out how he acts like Tony Stark in real life. Like, I feel like that's a little bit too much, but whatever. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the movie. In this role, he is so charismatic and just such a likable asshole. Like, he could tell that he thinks of himself higher to other people, but he just plays it off so, like, more natural, and he's more charismatic than ever in this film, and I love it. Sorry if that really didn't make any sense. It's hard to explain, but he's a damn good actor, okay? I love how this movie is paced as well. Like, the whole first act is just him, like, being captured by these terrorists, and he and this other guy, Yensing, are in the cave trying to make the Iron Man suit to bust out of there. And I love that whole first act, the whole, like, first 40 minutes of the film. I loved it so much. The soundtrack in this movie as well. I love, like, the main theme in this movie. I really wish they kept it. I don't know why they opt now for the Iron Man 3 theme, but I really like the way this one sounds. Jeff Bridges is in this movie. Plays Obadiah Stane, who eventually becomes the villain Ironmonger. It's weird because as Obadiah Stane, he felt like a real and natural villain. But then once the third act came and he put on the suit and turned into Ironmonger, I was just like, what? Like, I don't know, it's always felt out of place for me. Like, yeah, it's a superhero movie, they need to have a final action scene, but I feel like superhero movies rely too much on, like, oh, it needs to be, like, a big action scene. Like, it can't just be, like, something just, basic, Like, I really enjoyed seeing Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane. He's a damn good actor. But once he puts on that Iron Man suit, I feel like the movie just kind of, like, turns, The relationship, if you could even call it that Tony Stark has in the film. He has it with this lady Pepper Potts that works for him. And the relationship felt genuine. Like, it wasn't anything crazy, It was just like these two people were flirting and getting to like each other. It's not like they outright fell in love at the end of the movie. It was like there's still a lot of loose ends, and I'm glad the movie addressed it towards the end of the movie. But their relationship in this movie felt really natural and real to me, and that was a real great change of pace. I don't even think they shared a kiss in this movie, I don't think. But you felt the tension between them, and I just love how real that felt. The Iron Man suits look great. Given there are only 3 suits in this movie, they all look amazing. Especially the Mark 1, because I know they really made that suit, because I remember years ago watching the behind the scenes, and they really made that Mark 1 suit so fucking Robert Downey Jr. could just be inside of it walking. It looks so good. I love how real everything looks. Like, it's not so CGI heavy as these later movies are. Yeah, I guess that is cheaper in a way than making, like, an actual, like, metal suit. But I feel like it's something we take for granted now that, damn, this movie looks great with these suits, S.H.I.E.L.D. is back in this movie, more or less. They're kind of just, like, in the shadows, being all mysterious, because, this was the first movie that came out. You're not supposed to know that much about them, at least not now, not yet in the narrative. But, we're over here jumping in and out of the timeline, so we already know shit. This time, the main person from S.H.I.E.L.D. that you see is Agent Coulson, who, throughout the series of Phase 1 at least, he ties the thread between all these movies, so that's great. Once again, this is exactly what I mean when I said way back in my Captain America review that I love seeing, like, the little seeds that are planted in one movie just expand and grow bigger in other movies. I love seeing stuff like that. I mentioned earlier that this movie laid the groundwork for every single MCU movie to come, and I forgot to mention the comedy in this movie, because holy shit, this movie is really funny for a superhero movie, and I'm so glad that Marvel has stuck with that being one of their tropes, just having comedy in their movies. no matter how dark and how serious the movie may get, it's always gonna have some form of comedy. And I'm really glad that they stick with that to this day. Like, it really just, like, defines them as a franchise. This movie was released way back in 2008, which was a few years before Disney bought the rights to the MCU. And you could really tell. You could really tell that this was still a Paramount movie at heart because it's really mature. Like, the first 10 minutes, there's a whole sex scene. Like, given it's PG-13, you don't really see much. But I don't think Disney would ever allow that in a movie. What the fuck? Sorry for that noise. It decided to snow today over here in New York City, and people are just doing their best to clean it up, so whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of mature themes in this movie. A lot of shit that wouldn't slide nowadays with Disney. Let's be real. I do not remember a kiss scene in the MCU since, like, Civil War. Oh no, Black Panther had one. But that's weird because the timeline. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get there. I really enjoyed this movie, and I think everybody did. This movie was really the make it or break it. Like, if this movie didn't work, then the entire universe wasn't gonna work. And of course, they did a great job at it. And that mostly came from Robert Downey Jr. himself. I cannot praise him enough for his role in Iron Man. Not just in this movie, but in every other movie. They set and established his character so much within that first act, and you understand his mindset. The role just comes naturally to him, especially since Robert is, like, in a sense, Iron Man. Like, he's had his downs, but now he's back up again, and he's a household name at this point, which is insane because I don't think 20 years ago he would have thought that. I don't think any of us would have thought that. As the start to the MCU, it gave a great foundation, and I give this movie an 8.2 out of 10. It's not deserving of an 8 because I feel like an 8 would be too low, but then again, a 9 would be too high for me, so it's a nice little 8.2. I like that number. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. But let me know what you think in the comments below, if you agree or disagree with what I say. Who knows, people might say this is better than Dark Knight. Oh, that was hard for me to spit out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm putting up end cards, bam. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.